Welcome to Boulder Rotary, the best place to be on a Friday afternoon. Jim Williams, please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, all of you who are both willing and able, join me in reciting our allegiance to our flag and to our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for our foundations, the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you very much. Will all the members of this club who brought a visitor today remain standing with your visitor? Sue Deans.
Hello. We'll look at the camera, I think. There's a lot of people in between us and the camera. Okay, my guests are Melissa Fathman, Executive Director of the Dairy Arts Center, who's been here before, and another guest from the Dairy, Kathy Blagan-Huntley, who is just recently moved to Boulder. She is the Development Director at the Dairy, and she was a Rotarian in I'm looking at my notes, White Bear Lake near St. Paul, Minnesota. And she has 10 years of nonprofit experiences in arts and human services. And her husband got a job here, and they'd been wanting to move to Boulder for a long time. So we're lucky to have her. Thank you.
Welcome. I have just been told to move to this side. It's related to the camera. You don't have a guest?
I just haven't sat down.
You just haven't sat down. It's going to be one of those days.
I have three guests today. The first is Carrie Power, who's just in the final stages of being recommended as a fellow in the club. And her husband has accompanied her today, Fred Power, and they're refugees from Silicon Valley, and we're delighted to welcome them here. And Jim Remnant, who's also been with us previously, and he's in the process of a startup company that's exceedingly exciting, and you ask him about it. He'll be willing to tell you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Willie. Paul?
Thank you, Jim. I will have the pleasure later of introducing another guest, John Hayes, I think his name is. But my VIP guest today is a nephew on my wife's side of the family. His name is Andrew Roush. Andrew is a senior at the Missouri University of Science and Technology in Rolla, Missouri. More notably, he has been the CEO of their Mars Rover, University Rover competition, which they won the international competition last year and finished second this year. Now these teams, your team is 30 to 40 students self-organized with 12 or 13 different academic disciplines. It's a truly interdisciplinary project. Over 180 teams apply worldwide. Only 12 universities from the US made it. And you guys won in Hanks, Utah at the Mars Rover Discovery Lab out there or something of that type. But actually more notably, he so wanted to get to this program that he rode his bike from Rolla, Missouri to Yellowstone and then down to Colorado, 3,500 miles just arriving yesterday. Welcome him, please.
Welcome.
Okay, his application is in, so it's almost too late. But Bob Urban, no, actually his name is Robert. Robert Urban owns his own State Farm agency. Yay for Robert. And Perry is a co-owner of a software development company and a neighbor, Perry Nelson.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to reintroduce Chelsea DeLamelier, who's the district executive of the Mountain View District of the Boy Scouts of America. And we have a completed proposal for her. And on it, she says that with a name like Chelsea, she doesn't need a nickname. So welcome, Chelsea.
Welcome, Chelsea. Dave?
Thanks, Jim. My guest is Brett Jackson, right here. He's a friend of mine, local entrepreneur. We do things together from helicopters to shoes. And all bird shoes are for sale. If you're looking, they're quite popular. Thanks for being here, Brett.
Welcome, Brett.
Hi, I have a guest here today that came. Her name is Uta Wilkins, and she's in the Rotary Club in Germany called Bochum. She has a daughter here attending Boulder High School, and her name is Alice, and we're going to get her to interact when I introduce her to Bill. That's Bill right there. Raise your hand, Bill. Bill? You two talk to her. Okay, and so I'm on the committee, so I'm pushing her over there. So Alice, and she's here as working with supervising the master students at CU. And she's here for about 5 months, so we'll see her again. Thank you.
Please come again.
Hello, I have two guests, actually. My husband, Scott, who says I'm sitting down this time. He is a Paul Harris Fellow and was a Spouse of the Year a couple years ago. That does not include doing chores, by the way. And also, I'm also very excited to introduce Sheila, who is just about to go on her big adventure with Youth Exchange. I'll let her talk about it.
Hi, I'm Sheila, and I will be going on exchange this year to the Czech Republic, more specifically Prague. And I am so grateful for this opportunity, so I just want to say thank you so much.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations. All right, so now we're looking for Rotarians who are visiting us today. Do we have any visiting Rotarians other than those that have been introduced by our club members? Bill.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to Charles Sorensen. His dad was a president here years ago, and they've lived in this area for a long time, homesteaded. I can't go anymore because otherwise we would not be able to hear the program here today. But it's just a great time to have him here from Idaho, visiting with us and working with us. Charles.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Welcome, Charles. And now a selfless commercial. There are two numbers that are important to us today and for the rest of the year. 1919 and 100. Some of you are aware that we have now created the 1919 Club. It's all associated with our birthday. Check out the rib and join. Secondly, those of us who are on the introductions committee are supposed to remind you that there are 100 initiatives that have been stated by the club that you should take a look at and make a commitment on. It's called the 100 Initiatives Program of Boulder Rotary. And today, I'm happy to say that August, this month, is Membership Month. And our president has a goal to add 12 new members to the club this year. And we might have heard today some numbers from people who may be joining the club. So we may be, Mr. President, we may be down to 10.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do, join the membership committee in bringing new members to the club. Thank you very much, Mr. President. The floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, Jim. And thank you to all the members who brought a guest, and thank you to and welcome to the guests for spending, valuable time here today. We hope it's a great experience for you. Before we continue on the meeting with the weekly vignette, have a couple member updates to share with you. I'm very sad to say that Ralph Aker passed away this past week, long-term Rotarian, almost 50 years. I didn't know Ralph very well myself, and so I reached out to a couple of long-term members to say, tell me a little bit about Ralph. And they shared with me that he was just a great guy. He was so warm. He was very involved here at our club at the getting members to the Colorado Stock Show, originally from Montana, but he was in his later years, he enjoyed painting. And so the more I heard about him, the more I'm sad that I didn't get to know him and that he has passed on. Another update is on Carl Tinsman. He had a stroke about 5 or 6 weeks ago. He's been in Geneva recovering. He and his wife are flying back next week. They found a place here that he can continue with his recovery. Every week is getting better. That's all I really know at this point, but Carl will be here in town soon and hopefully be back at our club shortly thereafter. So that being said, Sue Deans with our weekly vignette.
Thanks, Mike. I had just run into Carl's name in some historic documents I was looking at, and also Ralph's name. So I'm sorry to hear about both of them. Today we're going to talk. Oh dear. I am embarrassed. I don't have my copy of I can get it on my phone. But anyway, we're going to talk about the Rotary good works that were done in the early part of the century.
We'll do it after the program.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
All right.
That's all right. No problem. Larry, come on up. Talk about Boulder Beer Trail.
Hello, everyone. My name's Larry Drees. I'm one of the co-chairs of our new Boulder Beer Trail. I need to do a little survey. How many people here drink beer? Raise your hand. How many people here know someone who drinks beer? Great. How many people here have heard of beer before? All right, so you're all part of what we're looking for. We have our. So today, I'm happy to announce that we are launching our, if I can get this to work, Boulder Beer Trail. I know you've probably heard a little bit about this over the last year or so. We've been working on it for about a year since it first came up as an item to look at. And we're really excited to be launching it here for the first time today. There's some things on your tables about the beer trail, things that we'll be using to advertise it in the breweries that we have connected with. And feel free to take those. There we go. As of today, as of this presentation, we had 10 breweries. As of today, after I sent this in, we have 11 breweries. So the one that's missing from there is Wildwood. And so we are in a pretty dynamic time right now with the beer trail where we are connecting breweries to our trail. Our goal is to get to 20. I'll talk about that in just a second. So we have some goals for this year, and that means just the last few months of this year. We want to make sure that we add at least 10 more breweries to our trail. We want to sell, we have an allotment that we purchased as part of becoming part of this trail of 285 gift cards. We want to sell all of those by December. And then we want to have 500 active trail members, hikers, on our trail by the time we get to January. And you're all going to be a part of that. How do you ask? How can you help? We're going to be asking if you have any connections to the breweries that aren't part of the beer trail right now. I'd ask that you contact me or Danny or other co-chair Bill, Sebastian, and let us know, help us connect with them, because if we can get to 20 or more, that's going to make a very healthy trail for us. We're going to be asking, and you're going to hear this a lot between now and the end of the year, we're going to be asking you to think about buying gift cards for yourself, for your friends, for your family, for clients, for vendors. By getting this sort of grassroots effort going through this gift card program, it will help us spread the word by word of mouth. This is how other clubs have been very successful. We're not the only club doing this. Fort Collins is doing it, and they have had a lot of success with their gift cards. And finally, we'd ask that you would promote this just verbally, word of mouth. And if there are any folks who want to become sponsors, it's another good way for us to defer some of our expenses so that all the dollars that come in go straight to Rotary. If you want to do that, please, again, talk to me. So, we need you to buy gift cards. We need to tell your friends to visit Boulder. $20. $20. Says so right there in the gift card. And we need you to direct them to boulderbeertrail.org. There's also a link from our website, but that's our own domain name for the trail. So help us make this successful. Thanks very much.
So if we don't want to buy the gift card, is there an app that we can just use?
Correct.
Great. Come on over here.
If you look on those coasters and on the table tents, basically if you go to boulderbeertrail.org, it will let you click through to the trail, and once you get to the trail, you can buy the app. The gift card is really a way for you to give it to someone so that they don't have to pay. So it would normally not be something you'd buy for yourself. It'd be something that you wanted to give someone as a gift, a Christmas gift or a thank you gift or something like that. Yeah, so that's great, Danny, thanks. So our public launch is tomorrow at the Boulder Craft Beer Festival in North Park, which is just behind the old hospital, 9th and Balsam. It runs from 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. Most of the committee will be there working a tent where we will be trying to promote this with all the people who are there. If you want to come by, I don't know if it's sold out or not. I think it's $30 or $35 a ticket, so it's not the cheapest event in town, but there's 20 or 30 breweries that are there that you can get samples from, etc. So that's exciting for us. Yep.
Are you adding a cappuccino trail?
We really want to add a cappuccino trail, a chocolate trail, and there's been some other ideas, but until we get this one launched, I don't know where those stand. So I think they're great ideas, but one trail at a time. In the back? Anyone can do the trail as long as you're 21 or over.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Okay, before we have our program, if you bought a raffle ticket, please stand up. Please stand up. Oh my God, look at all these raffle buyers. This supports our scholarships, so thank you very much. The number, and so when you hear your number, if you still got it, you can stay standing, but yes. Yeah. I haven't read the number yet. Well, we've already picked the number. Let's keep it for next. Keep it for next time and put it in the next one. All right, great. All righty. Here's the number: 82737. So 8273752. 52. Yeah. You stay right there. We'll get your payment. All right. Hey, how much was the payout, John? $67.50, big dollars. Okay. We had Peter Ewing donated a bunch of tickets for the CU. The CU CSU game did not get auctioned off. So I have them right here. So minimum bid is $80. It's at the, it's August 31st. It's section 512, row 9, seat 3 and 4, 2 tickets. It's at Mile High, whatever it's called now. Mile High Stadium. So, $80. Anybody? Anyone? Cricket. Oh, I practiced all my raffle stuff. $80, $70. Come on, CU, CSU, they're like 2 big colleges here, I hear. What's up with that? $60, $60. Okay, we got 60 back there. 60, going once, going twice, 60, great, all right. And Paul Jurdy. Boy, what an honor that we have such a great company and a great representative, so knowledgeable right down the street. So thank you very much, John. Really appreciate it. It's not on. I just gave you my social security number. You guys didn't hear it? All right, Sue Deans. Okay, you guys want to come on up? Jim Umlin. Jim, all right, great, come on up. We've got a couple of transitions from red badge to blue badge. And so it's real important while they're coming up to remember that these are members who have been with us for at least 6 months. They're members of our club. The moment they get their red badge, the moment they're approved by the board. Anyway, it's been 6 months and we want to reintroduce them to us, to you. Come on in.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to reintroduce Kathy Olivier. After taking many trips to Colorado to visit her son at CU, Kathy and her husband Mark moved to Boulder in 2015. While spending much of her early life and career in Texas, Kathy then next lived in Cleveland, in a suburb of Cleveland, for 27 years. Kathy's education was in information systems and finance. During her professional life, she worked for 5 major corporations, including Shell Oil and Nestle, in various IT roles. But then she spent the balance and the majority of her career as a consultant. She is now working with her husband in his accounting and finance business. For fun, they have together hiked 12 14ers in the last 3 years. Only 41 left to go. Since joining Rotary 6 months ago, Kathy has made a quick and significant impact, often working the guest check-in table, joining the finance committee, serving as club secretary, and joining the Preserve Planet Earth Action Group. I'm very pleased to help Kathy transition to blue badge status. Please join me in welcoming Kathy again.
Yeah. I want to give you a gold star.
A gold star.
Why don't you grab that for you? There we go. Thanks, Gene.
All right. My pleasure to start the first of what is another transition as a Red Badge co-chair. Mike has asked me to kind of take over handling these transitions over the next number of months, as we have over 20 of them lined up. And so today is the first one we're going to be kicking that off with Mr. John Jonas and his sponsor, Paul Jurdy. So I just want to remind everyone and reintroduce, if necessary, John and his family moved from Southeast Asia last summer after having lived 15 years in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. After a great gap year, love that, of backcountry skiing, rock climbing, and mountain biking. Were you preparing for any standardized tests or anything? No. He's beginning to ramp up his professional life again and is currently consulting to engineering and manufacturing companies. As far as Rotary goes in these first months, with his overseas experience, John has always thought it'd be beneficial to be exposed to other countries' cultures and so was immediately attracted to the Rotary Youth Exchange program chaired by Chad. For those of you here last week, you would have met Lara Sembera from Croatia, who will be staying with the Jonases through September. And in her first week here in the States, she's been to her first ever baseball game, Rockies, yes, and tasted fudge and snow cones for the first time, as well as having ridden to the top of Mount Evans in a snowstorm. Finally, you may have noticed John is trying to learn a few tricks from Fred over here with the videography, and so bringing it all. Thanks so much, John. Thanks so much, Paul. We really appreciate your work in bringing John to us. Gold star for Paul. All right. Don't lose that. Thank you so much, John.
Right, great new member. You know, the reason why I give a gold star is we actually had 37 new members last year. And while the goal is 12, it's actually 12 net for this next year because we have members who move away. You know, this is Boulder. People come in, they move down to Arizona. We're a 100-year-old club, so sometimes our members are passing away. So we want to have 12 new members for this next year, and we're having incredible members. So Sue with the weekly vignette.
Apologize for the senior moment. We've already heard about the fly traps that were an early project of Boulder Rotary. Just as we do now, Rotarians took an active role from the very beginning in helping the community. Some club projects in the early years included building a swimming pool, creating a memorial park for the dead of the First World War, working on mountain trails, building Camp Rotary near Nederland, and you can see that in a picture. I am not exactly clear on what the camp was for, but I believe it was for Rotarians who were hiking up that way and needed a place to stay. It was near Tungsten, if you know where Tungsten, the old Tungsten mill up near Nederland. And the people in the picture are Charlie Monroe, Dr. Carbon Gillespie, L.W. Cumberford, Gordon Kerr, Wilbur Piper, Jack Foss, George Teal, Ralph Baird, and Ted Lashley. Some of them have streets named after them in Boulder. They donated prizes for bicycle races at the 4th of July and entered a Rotary float in the 4th of July parade, which I guess we don't have one of those anymore. I've come across a lot of ideas that maybe we should revisit. They sent $250 to Pueblo Rotary Club for relief of the victims of the 1921 flood in Pueblo that killed more than 100 people. In 1943, the club furnished a room at the county hospital and maintained it for many years, decorating and refurnishing it as needed. The club also contributed to the city recreation program, the Red Cross, and the Boy Scouts, Chelsea. Its many other endeavors include sponsoring school traffic safety programs, furnishing cars to take entertainers to the men at Fitzsimmons Hospital, giving financial aid to displaced students at the university, helping to fund the Memorial Baseball Field and a teen canteen, and many others. And as you know, those good works continue through today. Thank you.
And in addition to our story over the last 100 years that's being shared, you know, chapter by chapter, vignette by vignette, you're also doing the whole history of our 100 years into a book of some type, yeah? And an audiovisual project, but you would really love some help with that. Is that right? Okay, because it's becoming a full-time job. Yes, okay, great. I've got all those right. If you are interested in helping, if you have writing experience, if you have some audiovisual expertise, etc., particularly some new members, if you want to learn about our history while meeting some of our members, longstanding members, please see Sue. Okay, thank you, Sue. George Russell with our birthdays. And I know we have at least one because it's your birthday this month, isn't it?
That is true.
Would you sing us a song maybe?
Well, yes, I am, but
Uh-huh.
I want to introduce the other Rotarians first. Nathan Womack.
Good morning, Boulder Rotary. Most of you know that I do technology. That's my main business, but a lot of you don't know I own another company called Look Out, Here I Come. It's a garlic-infused olive oil. Yep, there's a bunch of people in here that have had it. I brought 2 cases today, and what I would love is if 24 new people that haven't had it yet would grab a bottle, and go out to Facebook and write a review, and consider a donation of around $5 to $10 to Rotary. Just give it to one of the folks up here. But there's 2 cases waiting for you guys up there. Look Out, Here I Come is the name. We're in Alfalfas, McGuckins, and 57 Safeways from Casper down to Durango.
Jack Rummel.
Well, you'll have to forgive me. I woke up with laryngitis. But I do want to say that as I begin the first day, my birthday's today, the first day of my 80th year, I'm focusing more and more on family and friends, and certainly a very large group of friends in this room. And so Rotary really means a lot to me, and I thank you very much for being here. As a thank you gift, this is going to be your one and only opportunity, because of my voice, to hear me impersonate Johnny Cash. It's supposed to be black. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
I was brought in the club by Bob Potter back in '77. And I'm going to sing a little song. It's a cautionary tale for all the men in the room. I went to a barn dance Saturday night, met 2 girls with eyes so blue. So I fell in love with Kate that night, fell in love with Edith too. We all were just so happy. My dreams had all come true. Then Kate found out about Edith. Now I'm feeling blue. So Kate and Edith left me, and it proves that old adage true. Because you see, to my chagrin, you can't have your Kate and Edith too. 'Cause you see, to my chagrin, you can't have your Kate and Edith too. Thank you. Be sure and sit at the birthday table, and you can do anything you want to, just what I did. Okay.
George, when you said this was advice to the men, I'm over here like, oh my God, let's make sure this is good. And it was great, so thanks. We got a couple videos.
We are this close.
We are this close to making history.
This close. Of uncertainty to making history.
This close to changing the world.
This close.
We are this close. This close.
We are this close to making history.
We're this close to ending polio. To making sure no child suffers from this crippling disease ever again. All we need is you.
Hello, Rotarians and guests, and welcome to the PowerPoint for August 17th, 2018. And yes, we are this close to ending polio.
The Boulder Rotary Club Caring Committee performs a vital club service and would like to hear good news and not so good news so we can connect with you and help our membership. Please share your concerns with us by contacting Jean Schlesien. Let us know what we can do to help or share in your good news.
Jancy Campbell will host the Rotary Book Club on Monday, October 8th at her home from 5 to midnight. The book is Rising Tides, The Great Mississippi Flood of 1927 and How It Changed America by John M. Barry. Contact Jancy, Sue, or Darla for more information.
And some beer trivia. Did you realize there are the exact same number of dimples on a beer cap as there are cogs on the rotary wheel? Dare you to count them. But really, the Boulder Beer Trail is coming. 10 confirmed breweries have agreed to participate in the Boulder Beer Trail, and this $20 app is a unique gift idea, a great thing to share with out-of-town guests, and next month is one of the busiest beer tourism months of the year, other than all the other months. Let's jump on the Boulder Beer Trail.
To mark the 100th anniversary of the founding of the club in April 1919, Boulder Rotary has set a goal of raising $100,000.
The Centennial Fund is being established at the Boulder Rotary Club Foundation to raise funds for 3 legacy projects that align with club initiatives in the areas of peace building, water and sanitation, and mental health.
We are asking you to consider a donation in the amount of $1,919.
Donors who contribute this amount or greater to the foundation will be recognized as a founding member of Club 1919 and will be honored guests at a Club 1919 dinner hosted by Gary Berg at the Beautiful Academy on September 9th, 2018.
To reach our goal, we need at least 30 founding members of the Club 1919, and we ask that you seriously consider becoming a member at this level.
We recognize that not all will be able to donate at the 1919 level, and other donations will be solicited at lower levels in the coming months. But come on, join the club. And next week's program on August 24th is Huntington Potter, PhD. He's going to give us an update on Alzheimer's disease.
Huntington Potter is the Kurt N. and Edith von Kulta Memorial Professor of Neurology at the Colorado University School of Medicine and Director of Rocky Mountain Alzheimer's Disease Center.
Promises to be a great program, and I want to see you here.
In each of us, there's a little of all of us.
Whoa, Sally, we really saved up on our vacation. That's a busy slide. Everybody, say it with us. Have a great weekend.
All right. Just a couple more announcements that didn't make it into the video. There will be a peace committee next week at 11 a.m. So if you're interested in that, please show up here at 11 a.m. There was one other that I've... Oh, next week, in addition to our program, we'll have District Governor Sandy Mortensen here visiting our club. She's going to speak for 5 minutes, but we will have the normal program there that we just talked about there for next week. Before we say goodbye, I just want to thank everyone who helped bring this meeting together. Jim Williams, great job on the guest and visitor introductions. The raffle, John Rieger and Nancy Chin Wagner. Bob Stunkel as our past president greeter. Tom Chesney and Gloria Thrall working our desk here, member and guest registration. So that being said, thank you for coming today and have an awesome weekend.